If I started a YouTube channel in 2025, I would do these things. And they're so simple. I'm not gonna say it's easy, but if you put these systems in place, it'll make the whole process smoother. The very first thing I would do, and I got a list because I want to make sure I get things right for y'all, and we go through this like process, because this is kind of what I did. So this is not a end all be all, but just a recommendation. If I started a YouTube channel today from scratch, I'm not gonna waste any of y'all time, so let's dive into it, right? So the first thing, right? The first things first, we got to talk about our passions, right? I would talk about your passion, what you're passionate about. The reason I would talk about what I'm passionate about is because you are confident about it, right? You know it best, right? So if you talk about your passions and things that you've experienced, things that you have tried and failed at, you can direct people in the right direction. So that way, when they're going through the process, you can tell them, hey, listen, avoid this, try this. You're going to make some mistakes here. You know, I love watching people who work on cars, even though I'm not personally a mechanic, but it's just something about seeing someone work on a vehicle. I'm not good at it, but if I was to ever dive into it, I think YouTube would be a great resource for me to understand it. And there's so many comments, recommendations, things to avoid, different vehicles. Like, let's say you were into Hondas, right? Hondas are one of those cars that are considered most reliable next to Toyotas and things like that. So if I went into a Toyota and a Honda and I wanted to understand how to work on it, I'm pretty sure there's a bevy of videos that are out there, what to avoid, what parts to try. There's going to be so many people that are passionate about those two vehicles. So that's the reason why I would talk about a passion, because it's something you can speak to confidently, and then you can get people who can relate, that are enjoy your content, consume it, and understand it. Like, I think that's so easy, because it's free content. You tried it, you used it. Let's say you're reviewing a product that you tried. You can speak to it because you actually experienced it, and it comes off like organic. It's not something that's just like, you just kind of script, right? Kind of like this. Like I'll try my best to not script videos, so that way it just comes off natural, and I'm telling you the truth. And it's not something that's just made up and just some fake, like, what's going on, guys? Like, I want it to be real. All right. So the next one, number 2. Now, the best camera is the one that's always with you. So if you have your phone, I would say with your phone or whatever camera you got, master your gear. You want to master your gear. So let's say in a situation, you're in a place where it's like super lit, super bright, and let's say the sun is changing. You want to be able to master your exposure. You want to understand how the audio works. You want to master it, so that way when you're making the video, you can talk about whatever you feel. You can be as organic as possible. You can talk about these things and it not be some weird, like, whatever. Like, it could be just completely natural. It doesn't have to be like, something that's fake or, made up, or just a string of things that just don't make any sense. Like, what I'm saying? Like, all right, so the next one, right? You want to master gear, but be confident about it. So that way, when you're speaking to people and they see that you're talking about your gear, and let's say you're doing a review, you want to be able to be organic, you want to be real, you want to be like as real as possible, so that way they can be like, you know what? He understands the gear, his quality is good. He you know what I'm saying? You just want to master gear so it makes it easier while you're on the rise for all these things. Like, you know what I'm saying? You want to be good at it. You want to know your gear, you want to know your camera, you want to know your microphone, you just want to master, so that way it becomes easier to produce the content, and it's like you don't have these things in the way, stuff like that. All right. Now this one is gonna be like, I'm gonna tell you, this one is like something I struggled for a long, long time. You wanna master being able to talk in front of a camera. Like, for a long time, I was just like not having talking in front of a camera. I was just scared. You can look at some of my older videos. I wouldn't give the camera eye contact. You gotta master talking in front of a camera. You got to be able to say, you know what, I'm gonna talk to the camera like it's a friend. You want to look at that lens and be like, you want to look at your audience, because they want to see you. They want to be able to connect and vibe with you. So if you master talking in front of a camera, all those other things are great because they're there for you. So if you're talking in front of the camera and you're comfortable, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. They're there for you. And it's almost like that human connection, right? You're creating the content so people can see you. You're creating the content so you have that connection with your audience. So as you grow, you're gonna be like, it's like family. They're looking forward to watching your content because you have that organic dialogue. They're looking for you. So they don't want you to be looking up at the sky. They don't want you to be doing all this other thing. They don't want you to be like, yo, what's going on, guys? They want to see you. So getting comfortable in front of the camera has made me confident. It allows me to be non-scripted. It allows me to be myself. And it's kind of like it's an ongoing conversation with y'all. It's not like this, you know, I'm here one day, I'm gone the next day talking about something else. I'm not confident. It just feels like you have that authority to talk to your audience. You're building a community of people that are like-minded, right, in your space. So if they have that same like-mindedness and they connect with you, it's easy, right? So master talking in front of the camera. Once you do that, I feel like that personality will shine through. The confidence will go up. Your consistency will go up. You'll be able to pull out your camera and talk about things whenever you're ready. It doesn't have to be like, it's just more of a real thing, if you will, right? It just comes off real. And then that ties into the next thing, right? You got to be yourself, right? So if you do all of those things, right? If you're yourself, right, it's going to come off natural. You're going to talk in front of the camera and it's going to be like, damn, this guy or gal, you know, it'll just bleed through the camera that you're being yourself. It'll be natural as possible. It'll become easy. It'll just be this wholesome content. And what happens is you don't run into these situations where you get writer's block or you're just stuck, right? You don't get into this space where I'm stuck. I hit a wall. I don't know what to create. But if yourself will shine. You'll be able to create those videos easier because it's like, you're talking about your day-to-day. You're talking about things that you're going through. You're talking about things that you're trying. You could talk. There's so many things. I've already came up with 3 videos, right? Just in the span of this conversation or in this sentence. So be yourself. It makes it so easy. I think once I started being myself, once I started mastering those other things that I mentioned prior, it just becomes easy. And I mean easy where it's easy to create a system where you're doing it day in and day out. And it just becomes it's a hobby. It's supposed to be fun. So if you're yourself, it's just gonna shine. It's gonna shine. Y'all gonna be fine if y'all do that. All right, let's move on to the next one, y'all. All right, and this one is the last one. Listen, this is the everything. This is the secret sauce. Listen, do me a favor. If you made it this far, drop a like on the video. Do me a favor, subscribe if you're feeling generous, and comment down below. What are some of the things that you have faced and has been a hurdle when it came to you creating YouTube content, all right? Thank you so much. Subscribe, I appreciate y'all. Thank you. All right, so the last one, this one, I need y'all to lock in. Hold up, I need y'all to lock in real quick. Consistency. You need to be consistent with the content. I'm telling you, you need to be consistent because you're only gonna get better if you keep trying. And I talk about this in a lot of my videos. This is the secret sauce. Being consistent and showing up. You get better at all of those other things that I mentioned in the latter part of this video. If you're consistent, all you have to do is show up and be that person that you are. Master your craft, master your gear. You know what I'm saying? Don't complicate it. Be yourself. Be consistent. You got to show up. If you don't show up, how are they going to show up to your videos and be there for you? You can't be here 1 month and then show up 4 months later. You got to be consistent. If you are consistent, all of this becomes easy because all those other things you practice become natural and you get better at it. And that's the way it is. Like, it's just, you know, if you practice, cue the Allen Iverson outtake. But if you practice, it becomes easy. Just practice doing what you love, and that's creating this content or whatever it is that you're working on. If you practice, it becomes easy. You get better at it, right? It's like chewing gum, man. It'll be easy. Listen, I appreciate y'all watching the content, giving me your feedback. I really appreciate every single one of my subscribers. I appreciate y'all watching this video. If you made it all the way to the end, you're a real one. I appreciate you. Drop a like on the video, subscribe. I will see y'all in the next one. Y'all take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Peace.